Happy Monday, she says.
Happy Monday.
Yes.
It's the Monday after Thanksgiving. Everyone is out of my house.
Guess who's back on tour? For real. You want to go see NOV this year?
Let's go. I'll go if you're going to take me.
Let's just make sure this isn't streaming to my LinkedIn instead of the...
Why? Would I not be the most professional person to have on there?
You totally would, but
I would.
If this is going out to...
Wrong crowd.
The wrong one, I think we're right.
Wrong crowd. Did you let people know that we were running a little late this morning?
So what?
Yes?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
All right. You know, our trusty listeners.
Dude, we had like 30 last week.
Well,
oh no, dude. We're totes live on the Facebooks.
all right,
That's
people.
right, I've got
Good
a floor.
morning.
Yeah.
How do people listen?
DrewInTheMorning.com.
Morning.
So good. This is the music you like.
I do.
This is the fun one in the morning, right?
This is way more fun than some of the other stuff you've played. Sometimes I can't get into your head. Dope doesn't understand. I run around constantly.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just thinking about that the other day.
About running around?
How I don't ever sit for prolonged periods of time. How we got invited to a movie and I was like, it's 3 hours. That's impossible.
I know, man, but we should... Well...
Actually, I heard it wasn't that great. I heard it was a little slow.
A little slow?
A little slow. It's 3 hours long. You can't make it slow.
You know it's not slow?
Drew in the morning.
I was going to say, Jess in the morning. There it is. You're going to change the whole thing behind you and say, Drew.
I know. We
And
can't even
Jess-
see it. Like, so
or
we're,
Jess
you know what?
and Drew
I quit
in the
moving the
morning.
cameras back and forth and back and forth. Not just that camera over there.
I
Just
see
look-
that. That camera?
It's like
I don't
it's-
know where I'm looking.
Look,
That
it's
way?
like the best. Look at that view right there. Look at that.
Oh, look at
Whatever. Good morning.
Good morning.
Whoa, there. Look. Now my mic is too loud. Let me turn that
you're
down.
always messing with the volume.
Well, I just,
What are we talking about today?
what do you want to talk about today?
I want to talk about how fun life is sometimes.
And tell me about it.
I had a good meeting this morning, so I'm chipper.
Yeah.
I'm a little happy. If someone had asked me a year ago what I'd be doing, would I be saying this? No.
No, probably not.
No.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, new adventures, new things. Thanksgiving was great. I was just a little tired. Like that, it was exhausting. I needed
It was.
everyone to get out.
No. We had a bunch of family
Like
in town.
in
Your
a good
sister was
way.
in town. My brother was
Yeah.
in town. We had a house full of people. We hosted. There were lots of folks at the house.
It was. It was nice. It was nice to have everybody
What
in
was your
one
favorite?
room.
What was your favorite dish?
My favorite dish?
Yeah. You're my favorite dish girl.
Oh, there it is. You flirting with me this early in the morning.
What?
No, my cranberry sauce is probably my favorite.
Oh, dude.
It was good.
It was
This is a good cranberry sauce.
Yeah, man. That's pretty good.
Better than your canned stuff.
No way, man. I love the...
I didn't even bring out the can.
they call
Every
it the-
year you make me buy a can, and I buy the can, but I never actually put
the
it out.
Thanksgiving tube. That's what I saw.
This is
someone
gross. You
call
can
it.
slice it. Nope, don't do it. I did really enjoy that, and then I enjoyed the stuffing. The stuffing was really good.
There were a couple of different pieces or types of stuffing in
Mm-hmm.
there. And then we had Thanksgiving sandwiches the next day. Does anybody else do that, I wonder?
I don't know, but I don't-
That's my favorite thing. Take
No,
the
I-
rolls.
I can't imagine I'll ever do it again.
Oh, man,
Nobody
a
ate
little
it except
stuffing,
you.
a little turkey, a little cranberry.
Here's the thing: is it's all so heavy
Yeah.
that by the time leftover comes around, you're just like, I don't want this.
That's not true.
My entire mouth is
No
coated
way,
with
dude.
butter and fat.
Oh,
I don't want any more of it.
Yumminess.
No, I desperately wanted a salad.
A salad.
And it felt like I needed to wash it all down.
Whatever.
Let's talk about how many bottles of wine your brother and my sister went through. Just them. Let's just count their bottles.
Oh, boy. There were a few.
And good wine, too. I kept looking like, stop chugging the wine.
No, it was awesome, man.
It was good.
I know. We had some really good wine this year, though. Do you remember any of them?
Yeah,
That's always the question.
So my personal favorite, the King Estate, only because it's such nostalgia for me. But it was lovely to have a glass, and then quickly that bottle was gone.
It disappeared. The King Estate was good. The Guy Farrell?
Surprisingly, that was really good.
Was it Gary Farrell? You know how we found that one?
The guy from the background of your
dude.
thing,
It's the screensaver for the new update on Macintosh on Apple Mac computers. Macintosh. What are we like? 1984. And my brother says, "Hey man, I wonder where that is. That looks like it's got to be in Sonoma." I was like, "Well, the name of the software release is called Sonoma."
Oh.
And so we looked it up and we found it. And he's like, "Oh, I've been there." And then we're at the liquor store and we're at Total Wines. Shout out to Total Wines, Pick 6. And we saw the name of the vineyard that was on there. So we bought it. And we're like, why not, man?
It was good. I enjoyed it. You know what I also really come to enjoy is that we do King Ranch casserole the night before Thanksgiving. And it's like a whole thing.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm texting everyone. Come join
Which
us.
is just like the fatty precursor to the Thanksgiving madness.
the Thanksgiving madness.
Anyway, we stayed up really late.
We did
Consistently for days. We stayed up very late.
this all.
Oh my gosh, we started watching The Golden Bachelor.
Oh my God, The Golden Bachelor.
It's so good.
I didn't even talk about how we could talk about that. Oh, that's man.
It's good. And you know what is most exciting about that is that
Well,
the guy
hold on.
is like
Is it
70.
good? Is it good or is it just like let's watch the old people?
No, it was good, Drew, and
I
they're
don't
closer
know.
to age
That's
to
not true.
us
Mate,
than
are they?
to the young ones. I think. Well, you anyway, not
Oh,
me.
you need to calm it down over there.
No, I thought it was great because we do kind of don't you wonder sometimes like what happens
When you're 70 years old
and
you're out looking to smash. And
you lose your you're so gross. You lose your spouse, like they're widowed, and that's
Are they
sad.
widowed?
So then there's another
Hold on,
thing.
are they
Hold on.
widowed?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Gary, the guy on the show,
it's
is
not
widowed.
Jerry, it's Gary.
It's Gary with a hard G. Gary. So Gary lost his wife, and the whole thing it's sad. He cried. He was like, "I'm in love with her still, and I know that I need to move on."
My only question is, how late are we to this? Is the
I think
season
people
already?
have already seen it. There's already a winner, I'm sure, but we just started it, and I'm enjoying it. So you just back off, okay? Don't go ruining this for me.
The Golden Bachelor.
Anyway, so good, Gary.
Look,
I feel ya.
top stories. Opinion, the New York Times. The Golden Bachelor is a fantasy. Aging in America isn't.
Aging in America is just fine.
Why the Golden
I'm
Bachelor
aging in
finale will be
America.
historic. 4 things to know about Leslie ahead of the Golden Bachelor finale. What? Gary Turner. Well, the Golden Bachelor. This is there's hope for Golden Bachelors. I don't get it because you've got the dude, you've got the old dude, right, and then you've got all the chicks, and they're all just supposed to fawn over him, knowing that he's banging all of them. And it's like
Maybe
that is so unrealistic. Like,
he's not banging them. They're having these romantic rendezvous.
oh my God, he's swapping spit with at least 3 of them in any given moment.
That isn't. You're ruining this for me.
No,
you
I'm
have
just-
to think. Hold on. Let's think about this
I'm just
on a
saying.
broader. Let's just think about this for a second.
Like what?
You lose your spouse, and you're ready to go out into the world and meet someone else. How are
Players
you gonna?
gonna
How are
play.
you gonna do that at 71 years old?
No, but that's not
maybe
my,
there's
I'm
an
not-
app, but
I'm
you're
not thinking about that. I'm thinking about every each cut. It's like he's making out with the different chick. It's like all the chicks have got to be. Well, we've all made out with each other now.
Well,
That's
isn't
exciting.
that what happens when you're older?
But
You've
you
heard
don't-
of those communities with the
you don't-
loofahs.
Listen.
You know what I'm
Shout out to
talking
the
about?
Villages.
The
You
villages
don't
in
get,
Florida.
Listen, here's the thing: is you don't get a group of, and then where all the girls like, "I love you. We're gonna miss you so much." I love you." How do they love it, dude?
You don't think people can have real connections quickly?
You put 5 chicks in a room and you make them all fight over the same dude, knowing that they're all
one's-
going to make out with each other. And like, oh, I love you so much. You're like a sister to me. Well, yeah, you're like an Eskimo sister.
Ew, no.
Is that what it's called with chicks?
I don't know what it's called.
What's the equivalent of an Eskimo brother for girls?
I don't know, but I don't want to think about it. And I will say that I don't want to think about that. Anyway, I really like Gary, so just back off, Drew, okay? He's a really nice man. He's a really nice man. And
Oh
he
my
is.
God, dude.
I'm defending him.
Whatever.
Anyway, I like the idea of finding someone after you lose your life partner.
I think
Oh, it's like if you were to die, what am I gonna do? Why are you laughing?
what do I care? I'm dead.
Well,
Knock
yeah,
yourself
what
out,
do you
girl.
care? But what am I going to do? The love of my life is dead. So I
Aw.
want. How do I find somebody? And then not even that. But
How long do
can
you think it would take
imagine?
you? 3 months?
Like 3 weeks. What are you talking about? 3 months. Fast track
Like,
here.
Next.
Next. I got to line
Calling
up.
number 69. Number 69.
Oh, look at you. You're funny. You're funny today.
Whatever.
Anyway,
man.
no, Gary
How long do
knows.
you think it would take me? I'd be so sad for till
You would never recover.
ever.
Ever. You're so rude to me.
You've spoiled me for a lot of women, though.
I
Sorry,
know. I
babe.
was going to say your brother
over.
called it out. He's like, he doesn't do anything. And I was like, no, he doesn't do
What are you talking about? Do anything?
anything. Like house stuff. You're not very helpful.
Listen,
Let me
Stan.
say- let
No,
me say
hold
that
on,
under my
hold
breath.
on.
No.
We've had
I
this
didn't-
conversation
I didn't
before.
mean to-
Listen,
Oh,
no, we
my-
are in a.
we're not going to go down that path. I remember.
What?
We have outsourced the things that we do not want to do.
If you hire someone to do this stuff,
Except she wasn't there for a week, so your wife was having to do it, and it doesn't make me
No,
happy.
that's why you
How was
invite-
my mood yesterday? How was my mood?
you look like Johnny Dangerously's mom sitting in the laundry room.
I don't even know what that means.
Piles and piles of clothes
Yeah.
surrounding you.
I wanted
You're
to
losing
cry.
your mind.
Did you see me? I was the most like defeated woman sitting in that laundry room. Like,
What the hell is
Whoa.
that?
someone's calling.
Whoa. Okay, well that normally doesn't happen. There's
I
some.
don't know. Is someone calling the show?
I don't know. Hold on.
We'll go check so I can talk trash about you. Anyway, yeah, no, Drew doesn't. He's not very particularly helpful when it comes to house chores. Anyway, it was a good weekend. It's it's a little intimidating to have to hold down the fort without him. But I will say that we recovered and everybody's out of the house. Yesterday I was in a mood because we were de-Thanksgiving and adding Christmas to the house. And it's overwhelming, to say the least, of all the things that we've accumulated over the years that we feel the need to put out.
I didn't see you helping me de-Christmas or de-Thanksgiving yesterday.
No, sir, don't even start. Don't even start. I had to put turkeys away. Turkeys away and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, getting on to real topics because this is a whole lot of nonsense.
Real topics.
Yeah, life is fun.
Okay, so that was bullet point number 1 for
Bullet
this
point
morning
number
from the
one.
show notes. And the new the new study in the journal Epidemiology and Psychiatric Sciences is the largest and most comprehensive survey done to date. It found the effects of peer pressure, smoking and drinking. The effects of peer pressure appear to still exist in your later years.
It does.
So
Yeah.
if you got peer pressured when you were a kid, you still be like,
I would drink way less if my friends weren't around.
okay. And so those individuals in the study with the best friendships were more likely.
Yeah.
The individuals in the study with the best friendships were also more likely to smoke and drink heavily.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're hanging around with your comadres. You want to have a little drink.
Shout out to the neighborhood.
I know. Plus, it doesn't help that we live in such an awesome neighborhood where all of our neighbors are just cool.
They're cool.
They're cool.
The smoking and drinking make you cool. Our children
I don't
listen
smoke.
to this.
I don't smoke.
No.
I will have a little copita, and I do enjoy it. And
I
it's
don't
fun
smoke.
to have it with friends.
You know what? Someone offered me a Cuban cigar the other day, and I turned it down. And
Why?
Because ever since I had the vocal cord surgery, I just
Mm-hmm.
I have no desire to smoke a cigar. I'm like, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to screw up my throat. It's just like a phobia now.
Well, whatever works for you, Drew.
Anyway.
I'm not getting involved.
However,
in that.
even taking those negative health behaviors into consideration, the cohort still lived longer and were happier than those whose friendships weren't as strong.
So
though
even
you're-
with emphysema, you'll live longer.
That's what my grandfather died
I-
of. Like, way to zero in on that. Like,
Well, I wasn't trying to be hurtful, and how was I supposed to remember that?
I don't know.
I'm just saying. So Claudia, although not a good influence,
You're not supposed to call people out.
everyone knows she's all over my Instagram, and everyone wants to know what happened to her because she doesn't work out with me anymore.
I know.
She sent a picture right now. Who's got the time to go at 9 a.m.? Claudia does.
That too. Because she's
Anyway.
busy smoking and drinking all night.
She's too busy drinking all night. That's
They
horrible.
don't smoke.
That's a lie. No.
I mean, it's
no,
half a lie.
No, they don't smoke. I'm talking about drinking. She wasn't really up drinking all night. She just needs more rest than I do, apparently.
Whatever.
I'm
Anyway,
just talking
so
smack.
so the study says that peer pressure exists in your later years, But the people who party with their friends and have great friendships live longer. And the second part of it is study participants who took the survey 3 times over 8 years. And
Okay.
those with good friends were 24% less likely to die during that time.
Well, okay, so but this goes back to pandemic when everybody was home and sad. People were dying
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
were also drinking a lot.
alone.
Shout out to Salt. Oh my God, remember Salt made those badass Paloma kits and I would send them to everyone?
Yes.
That
Do
was
you
the
remember?
best.
Do you remember we went through a lot of wine?
We did. We went through a lot of wine.
Mm-hmm.
Having good friends was also associated with many positive health behaviors and benefits, like a 9% increase in likelihood to exercise. 9%.
Because you get friends that are going to push you into good health.
Shit, girl, I represent that 81%.
That doesn't want to. That's refusing to exercise and move your body. So I have another friend that I think is a little annoyed with me because I called him out. We're supposed to have accountability, and
Well, you workout people all do that with each other.
We
You like
do.
send texts and pictures and like, check out my sweat. And they're like, no, check out my sweat. You look like you peed yourself this morning.
it
That was
did. That's so gross.
Go check out Jessica's Instagram. If you're into
Okay,
that.
that's
She looked like
enough.
she
No,
peed all
I
over
didn't-
herself.
I didn't post that one. I posted the other one, not that one. I didn't want people thinking I peed myself.
That's gross.
That's
dude.
awful. That is gross. Hi, Priscilla. She thinks we're awesome. Poor Priscilla.
17% reduced risk of depression.
With friends?
Yeah, with friends. So if you smoke and drink with your friends, you're 17% less likely to get depressed. That doesn't seem like a lot.
No, not at all. I
don't know if
say-
this is good or bad. This is like, it's not really that big of a benefit.
No. Okay, so can I
I'm
be
not
honest
leaving
though
the
with
basement today.
you? What's happening now is that I'm having so much fun with my friends that we're staying out and we're hanging out where I'm not getting to bed earlier. I'm not being more healthy. You see, they're bad influences.
But that's what they're saying is even with that, you're 24% less likely to die now because you're hanging out.
Oh, so my rate's gone down.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the more you hang out
I
with
like
friends, so the study is the more that you hang out with friends, even if those friends are bad influences and you smoke and drink with them,
Okay.
that's still the net benefit is that you're going to have a happier, longer life. That's what this is.
Well, I'll have a happier life, that's for sure.
Don't drink and drive, right? So take out
No.
some of the stuff. Don't drink and drive. Uber back and forth. I mean, there's still the cancer thing. I'm not going to promote smoking ever. That's
No.
bad news.
I don't even know who smokes.
However, 19% lower likelihood of having a stroke. Also, if you
I'd like to know more, and maybe somebody out there knows.
friends.
I would like to know more about the difference between smoking actual cigarettes and vaping.
Oh,
What's worse?
I bet it's bad, man.
I'd imagine that it's vaping, but I really don't know the answer to this.
Man,
And are any little kids smoking cigarettes, or are they just vaping?
I don't know, but
And by little kids, I mean like high school. Do they smoke or do they vape?
Stuck in my head.
What?
You remember the song? No.
I can't follow you today.
It's what we're talking about.
Smoking?
No way, man. This is Houdini. This is like from 1980.
Are you dancing?
What?
Is that what you're doing?
What?
I'm not gonna
What?
bob my head today.
No?
No.
Friends.
Oh,
How many of us have them? Friends.
you have like 2. Ooh, that's a good topic. Friends, real friends. Moving on.
You give me.
Yep, and the text messages have started. Hey, why don't you get Drew off?
Uh-oh,
Get
Drew's
Drew
high.
off.
Listen to Houdini.
Drew's been smoking.
Priscilla says, go work out with me.
I just have a message that says vaping is worse
Well, it's
than
gotta
smoking
be.
cigarettes.
It's gotta be.
It has to be, right? Because you're smoking chemicals.
You are.
Yeah.
I think about Pookie in New Jack City. Where I'm sucking that glass.
How?
That's
Where
how,
does
I don't
your
understand
mind
vaping.
go?
Because, dude, I like, you're going to, like, who would it, like, just rewind and, go back to the days of the Marlboro Man and go back, to all the, 60s, 70s,
The Marlboro
50s,
Man.
60s, 70s, 80s when smoking was, was cool or whatever.
It's cool.
And then it's like, hey, you know what? In the future, people are going to be sucking on microchips.
What?
Dude, little vapes. Like, oh yeah, they're gonna plug that shit into the wall and
So
then they're gonna
what-
suck on it. That seems
But
awesome.
there is nicotine inside of them, right? Like that. There's nicotine in there.
Yeah, but it's all synthesized stuff, right? So I mean, it's like
Remember our
like
friend
if you're
that
gonna
got,
smoke,
remember our friend that
smoke
stopped
a cigarette like a
smoking-
real man.
that stopped smoking and started chewing the gum, and then got addicted to the gum, which I think is way more expensive than actually smoking cigarettes. Oh man, I've lost you to this.
See, I got Houdini stuck in my head.
Lost you.
Yes, I remember when I quit smoking, I chewed the gum and I quit chewing the gum because it was so terrible. And
It
I was like,
tasted
this is
bad.
the worst.
Yeah.
This is so bad.
But you used to smoke a lot.
You know, I don't know if that was smoking a lot or
I mean,
not.
I feel like a pack a day is a lot of cigarettes.
It was a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah, that's a lot of cigarettes.
I don't know. Anyway, so this study says that if you have what?
Oh, friends, they're bad for you.
No,
they're bad but good for you.
They're bad but good for you. That's a point of the survey.
Okay, so yes, going back to how fun life is.
Yeah.
It's fun being this old.
Dude, hold on, man. Pause.
What?
Yes, you're correct. But also,
Good morning, Jess.
there's something. What's up, homies? Oh, dude, it was so good to see her and her husband the other night stopping by the house.
It was nice that they stopped by.
Yes.
I was in my Golden Bachelor moment.
You were
though,
chilling.
so
I know. You were
was
like, I don't want to talk
I was
to
tuned
anybody.
out.
What was I going to say?
Who cares? Move on. No one's listening to you anyway.
Whatever.
No, I don't know what you were talking about.
I don't know what I was talking about.
Move on to the next topic. Because
Anyway,
this hour is long.
whatever. It's
It's a long hour.
like you have something to do today. We leave today. We're out of town.
Yep.
We split. We go to Vegas
You're
today.
coming. You're coming with me.
I am. I'm going on your work trip this time.
You are.
This is pretty cool.
Yes, I do have to work.
I'm going to sit in the hotel room and maybe go down to the spa. No, I'm just kidding.
Really?
I might gamble. I never do. Dude, this is not a good. All we're talking about is like smoking, drinking, gambling.
You're the worst
Oh,
influence.
this is what you were saying. You were saying that it's fun to be this age.
It is fun.
It is. Hold on.
Why?
Because you're missing a key component. It's not just about our age. It's about the fact that our kids are old enough where we're not taking care of them every minute of the day.
I feel like I'm still taking care of them every minute of the day.
Mm,
Well, they don't ask Dad for the sandwich. They
you're
ask
so
Mom.
don't even try and skew the amount of crap that I do with them that they
No,
don't
my
do with
favorite
you.
this morning-
Give me a break.
My favorite this morning is that I walked back in the house at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, why are all the lights on? What's going on? And Fleet was sitting on the couch ready to go. He was dressed and ready to go. And I was like, what are you doing awake?
Yeah.
And he says, Dad said that if we can get out of here early, we get Starbucks. So is this what we're doing? We're bribing them with Starbucks?
Were you were just tuned out last night then?
When I was cooking and cleaning?
Oh, fucking blame. Hold on, man.
I have to do
No,
it. I
let
have
me-
to do it
look,
one
look.
time.
Hold on, let me load up a sound clip here that's just like
I don't like doing it. I don't like doing it. Okay, go on.
Yeah,
So what
I
happened?
don't
You
even
bribed
have
them
a-
with Starbucks.
Yeah, cooking and cleaning, she says. I don't even have it loaded.
What happened?
No, last night we talked about this. Your daughter said, hey, if we go to sleep early, can we wake up and hit Starbucks? And I said, yeah, as long as we're out of the house by 7:15, we're good to go.
Okay.
I had this whole conversation with her and you. We were too busy cooking and cleaning. Can't just stop being a mom.
I was doing laundry. I was cooking, cleaning.
Here's my thing. You spent all day doing laundry yesterday, right?
Right.
Why do we pay someone to do it?
Well, because I needed some stuff clean, and she wasn't going to come until later.
Whatever. I have an
Enough.
issue.
Moving on. We're not talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to upset me. You're going to upset me. Anyway, okay, so
How long
I
is
was
that
surprised.
song?
So the other
It's
part of
still
that was that I
going.
was shocked to see how motivated they were to get out of the house for Starbucks.
Well, it also helps when you go and you wake them up.
Like,
I rolled in there and I was like, hey, guys, get up. Well, let's go. It's fun, man. It was good. I like it when they wake up. It's a
well,
pain in the
yes,
ass to
we-
get kids up. I didn't
It
want to
is.
get up when I was a kid.
No, it's hard to get Nola up. Fleet is no problem to wake up. Our daughter,
For now.
not so much. It's difficult. And I always start off being a little sunshine bear, like, oh, come on, it's time to get up. Love everybody. And then inevitably I started screaming.
You?
Me, I believe it or not, I raise my voice.
We call them
Okay.
incentives. Yes.
Yes, incentives.
I totally lost track. Oh, well, what I was saying is that the kids are older now, so
Yeah.
we can have more fun.
Absolutely.
Yes, we can when they're babies.
Yeah. Imagine when they both go off.
Mm-hmm. Where are we going to
Far
go?
away.
I know.
I
We get
don't
a
know.
couple days in Vegas. That's going to be pretty nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang out in the hotel. We're staying at the Resorts World.
Mm-hmm.
The place is cool. They've got good dim sum there.
Yeah. We've stayed there before.
Mm-hmm. It's also the Amazon AWS reInvent conference, so I might try and sneak into AWS and go check it out. It's where Amazon showcases all the people that use Amazon web services and like the Amazon cloud, which is like every
Hey, you
like
know what
a
I
lot
found
of people.
interesting last night at dinner?
You fucking did.
Not that. Actually, no. I was going to tell you that I found the ubiquity thing interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that later.
You are?
Yeah. Not on this podcast, on the
Right.
other one. But it is interesting. Yeah, technology's evolving.
I liked it.
It's pretty cool
I
because
had a moment to process on it and think about it, and I was like, you know what? That was really smart marketing.
so what's happening in the whole industry is it's evolving into this place where I don't want to say they don't need people, but we're seeing this trend in tech where tech for like your office or for your hospital or for whatever
But that's not why I liked it.
it's going to remove the need to have so many people. It's going to simplify so many different things.
I liked it because it made.
See, Milo's like, let's hear it.
Let's hear what?
He wants to hear about the new. It's called the.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well,
called
tune
the
into
wall or
Waves.
something.
That's next. But no, I think I liked it because it made technology relevant in the sense of likable. So
Yeah.
I don't normally want to hear anything about access points or wireless, right? Like it's not. I mean, I listen to you, right?
But what you're talking
But it
about,
doesn't draw my attention. But this did.
you're talking about what's happening in the industry without even knowing it. Right now, there's this whole simplification deal. There's companies out there that are saying, you know what, we're not going to sell you hardware. We're not going to sell you equipment. We're not going to sell you all this stuff. Just sign here, and we'll just make sure that everything works for you the way that it's supposed to. And that's it. Now,
Right.
you don't own the equipment. You
that
pay
has
a monthly
been-
fee, but then everything just works for you. And this is what little service providers used to do, but now these larger corporations are going, well, let's cut the middleman out. Let's just provide that.
Well,
as a service.
consistently for the people who aren't tech savvy.
Emil, this is not worth it.
so for the people
$800, dude.
For the people who aren't tech savvy, though, that's always been the solution: is just make it work. No one cares how it works; just make it work. And that's
Totally
been
agree.
something that we've always heard over and over and
Totally
over again.
agree.
Nobody cares about the intricacies. Nobody cares about how much this or that. Just make it work.
Totally agree.
That's how I feel about my house. Just make everything work.
Yeah, it does. What doesn't work in the house?
No, everything works. Everything's work- At the moment, everything is working. In due time, something will not be working. Oh no, the ice maker. What happened with the ice maker?
Oh, I forgot to turn it back on.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is
I'll do
that
it. I'll do
simple?
it when I get home. Yeah. Well, it was time to clean it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that
So
was fun.
so along those lines in technology, something crazy happened last week, and this
Tell me the crazy.
You know how I love talking about AI.
No more AI.
No, well, so here's the thing: the guy who was the founder of OpenAI with Elon Musk and a bunch of other investors, the board of directors kicked him out of the company last week. They fired him. And they're
Okay.
like, you're out of here. And once they fired him, Microsoft, who's a super heavy investor so OpenAI is the company that made ChatGPT. ChatGPT has made AI a household name.
Okay.
Arguably. And we've used it for stuff we've talked about with our daughter and everything else. So ChatGPT is something that you can use to generate text, to generate a response. And you ask it a question, not like Siri or Alexa or whatever, but it uses artificial intelligence to determine the answer and deliver it to you.
Right.
Everyone's always scared, like AI is going to take over the world. What's going to happen when the computers get smart enough to realize that they're better off without humans, stuff like that.
I'm more interested in the people's evolution to want AI, to feel a nurturing relationship with AI.
Yeah.
That part is fascinating.
Well, yeah, but so what happened this past week was they kicked the main guy out. The board was originally established as OpenAI was this nonprofit, bunch of people invested in, and so I've got my bullet points open right now, right? So, and the question is, what the hell happened with OpenAI, and why is that important? The board, it was a nonprofit board, and it was guiding the direction of OpenAI to make sure that it was creating something that was usable for humans. This is, I forgot what it was their philanthropic altruism. These are people that just wanted to do good for humanity, and that's what OpenAI was. It was, how do we build a product that everyone can use that will elevate all of us, multiply what we're capable of doing, and make humanity better. So that's how they've been run for a long time. The board was fully supportive of this. But what the CEO and what some of the people involved wanted to do is they wanted to figure out ways to make money with it. And so what happened was they started pushing products to market, And when you start to have something that is supposed to be good for humanity versus something that needs to generate money in the market, all of a sudden, morals get confused.
Ooh, sounds a lot like a stripper.
So,
You know where I'm going with this. I'll have a whole conversation about it later. But yeah, you start to question your morals.
yeah.
And then,
So what happened was the board, this board who has supported this person for so long, they're like, hey, dude, we don't think this is going in the direction that it needs to go in. You're not communicating with us what you're trying to do, and there's a bad relationship here. And they said, hey, we're gonna can this guy.
Okay.
So they kicked the CEO out. Immediately, Microsoft, who's one of their investors, turns around and says, you're hired.
Oh.
Not only are you hired, but anyone else who wants to come over from OpenAI and come work for Microsoft, y'all are all hired also. The doors are wide open. And the employees said, no, we'd rather just stay with OpenAI, even though Microsoft's like a multi-billion-dollar, investor in it.
right?
And out of this, I think it was, I don't remember what the final number was. The entire team of 700 people, all but like 5 employees, signed a petition saying that the board needed to resign. Everybody needed to resign, and they needed to reinstate this guy as their CEO. So what's interesting is, after Microsoft stepped in, it's like people from the outside. I don't know what's going on the inside, obviously, right? But from the outside, you see, well, the board wanted to keep it. They wanted to follow that philanthropic altruism,
Right.
profile.
Keep a moral compass on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Microsoft's like, hey, come over here.
Yeah, we want to make money.
Money.
Right.
So now what's happening is the board stepped down. All but 1 or 2 of them stepped down and said, forget it, we're out. Like, we don't want anything to do with this. OpenAI is now back. The guy got rehired as the CEO. They brought him back in. A new board has been established. Microsoft has still, pretty big money involved. But now OpenAI is it's like there was a hiccup last week, but the only difference is now the board that was focused on making sure that it was AI for good, now that whole board is gone. So it's interesting to see what we're going to see happen with ChatGPT and OpenAI as a whole over the course of the next year, because now without the board guiding it to be very based on philanthropic altruism, now where does it go?
Right.
So that's what happened with OpenAI. And it's important because the way that ChatGPT has made its way into all of our lives, and to talk about what you were just saying, what we've talked about with the way that it's going to change relationships and it's going to change people and it's going to change the way that our kids grow up and their sexuality and everything else. Now you have a defining moment in the life of AI where a board who is saying, hey, let's keep it good is
It's
out.
been pushed out.
Now, have they been replaced with a board that's saying let's keep it profit? Ooh, I don't know, but we're gonna see. It's definitely this is one of those moments that I think we'll look back on and go, remember when that happened? And now look at where it is.
It's changed.
Because the scariest thing with all of this is it's one thing if AI and all these things are just algorithms processing data back and forth neutrally. No, not so neutral. And so let's see where that heads. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. I thought I would bring it up because we've been talking a lot about AI. I don't remember. Did we talk about this topic last week?
We talked about it in the sense of
Yeah, we're covering a little bit.
of falling into like the basement type situation where youth today have fallen into just vaping and video games, and I think where AI has taken the porn industry and kind of the evolution that has created. And I don't know if we've talked about it on air, but I do feel like it's a stepping stone for
Yeah, I mean, this is a conversation that
for
we've been
things
having.
that you just wouldn't imagine, right? So how do we continue to teach our children to have nurturing and caring in real life relationships? And AI is really posing a threat to that.
I think so.
Kids they just want someone to talk to, and it's easier than making a friend. It's easier than having to take somebody else's opinions and thoughts and processing that and interpreting that. And did they like me? And did they mean to hurt my feelings? And that didn't feel good, to just talking to someone that's going to feed you everything that you need and never really learning how to combat the negative or how to be a person.
So here's the scary part with it. When you look at what happened this past week and you look at The chatbot thing is crazy to me. The stuff that's on WhatsApp right now, and even the AI assistant that's on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Like you can sit there and have an entire conversation with that thing.
So
and,
I did it. I did it jokingly.
And at what point does it? Do you tell it, hey, I'm not feeling happy today. My mom and I are getting into it. Do you have any advice for me? And the AI assistant turns around and says, you should try Zoloft. Go ask your doctor about Zoloft.
Because they bought an ad.
Zoloft buying an ad for people that are saying that they're, and they're like, oh yeah, Zoloft sounds great. You know what I mean? Or,
it's not there yet.
You should have a Coke and a smile,
No, I will tell you that the one on WhatsApp.
Because, dude, it was
WhatsApp, right? That you used, Ren.
That one looks like that Mr. Beast did the
That
deal.
one was actually pretty positive, right? Because you tried to get
That's
it to
the meta
say.
one.
You tried to say. We sat there and we played with it, and we were trying to get it to say negative things, and it really wouldn't.
No. I forgot what I asked it.
It kept coming back, and
I was like,
you were being naughty.
I what? No, I said I'm feeling sad today. This is Dylan, the DIYer. It says, hey, I'm Dylan, the DIY and craft expert, here to help up your game. What are we creating today? And I said, I'm feeling sad today. And Dylan responded, I'm here for you. Sometimes crafting can help when you're feeling down. Would you like me to suggest a project that will help lift your spirits?
So anyway, Dylan was quite positive and insightful, and we kept trying to get her to go down the rabbit hole, and she didn't.
How about a cozy blanket or a set of colorful candles? Both are easy to make and can add some warmth. Click here to purchase on Amazon. What? I'm just kidding. I didn't say that.
I was gonna say, how do you create a blanket? None of that sounds easy.
Yeah, no, look.
Does it involve sewing?
I'm gonna say a blanket. She's gonna teach me how to make a blanket live on the internets right now. Let's see. Yay! I love a good blanket. There's so many anyway, but the idea is that you can have this conversation, and now that tiny little things like that, like what's happening with OpenAI, have gone in there.
Right.
This is it's bad enough our kids listen to so much crap on YouTube, and they're like, "Hey, Dad, you should totally buy this like shampoo," or let's go get some Prime. Like Prime has been in the house now.
Prime tastes so bad.
No, it's actually not that bad. It's just really sweet.
I don't like it.
But that was social media influence marketing.
Can the Prime people make it in smaller bottles? Because that big giant bottle just goes to waste. Nobody drinks all of that.
Well, hey,
really
Jake, if you're listening.
Hey, Jake, make it smaller. We don't need a 16-ounce Prime. Maybe an 8.
I don't think it's geared towards 7-year-olds. Maybe it is.
I mean, who else is buying it?
Anyway.
All right, moving on. The
world's 280 million electric bikes and mopeds are cutting demand for oil far more than electric cars. They're actually displacing 4 times as much demand than all of the combined electric cars in the world. So there's this big thing where the last couple of weeks, people have been talking about how much EVs really, what the real cost of them is. And it's not, it's not what you pay for it. It's, the chargers and the batteries and the this and the that. And so people are now having this moment of realization where it's like, maybe it's not less expensive to drive EVs at this moment.
So they're driving bikes?
So they're saying that when you take little quick trips back and forth, take a cue from the third world countries, or take a cue from Amsterdam, or places that are more heavily reliant on 2-wheeled vehicles, because not only are they great for just going back and forth somewhere,
I don't even feel like our infrastructure is works for that.
We live in Texas.
I was going to say it doesn't
Texas
work.
is built on oil.
And it's 135 degrees normally.
There's also a reason there's no rail in the state of Texas. Because rail takes away from oil.
Well, that makes sense.
Bikes take away from big oil. So anything that's going to be anti-big oil in some way, shape, or form is
He's going to say big oil one more time.
Big oil. Big oil. Is less likely to happen.
Well, fascinating things this morning.
Well, then you pick a topic.
These
are things that are fascinating to me.
I don't have anything to talk about.
You're rude.
I went from being grumpy to being really excited, and now to just meh. I need another coffee.
I know, man. I made you one this morning.
I know.
I've got my coffee mug.
I drank it.
Barry's SPI, home of the best tacos and fish products on South Padre Island.
They have tacos and fish products?
They do, man. The tacos are actually pretty good.
I've never had them. Yeah. Maybe you should take me.
To the island?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'll go.
This hour brought to you by Courtyard Marriott, South Padre Island.
I was going to say, wait. I was waiting
Visit your friends at Ruby Red Hospitality.
I was waiting for the plug-in.
And if you're in McAllen, don't forget to stay at the Embassy Suites Hotel.
I was going to say, someone bring me a
eat
taco.
At On the Border.
Hey, you're really good at that.
They should pay me.
Someone should
We're
pay
gonna set up a Patreon account.
So much
man.
to pay.
To go with my Feet Finder account.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Yeah, dude. I should update that.
Let's not update it.
So the joke is, I do have a
now,
Feet Finder
now
account.
that you've told everybody.
Well, yeah, I was like, why not,
People are
man?
gonna flock to it now.
Oh,
honey.
let's go. It's called Chanclas. That's my.
I don't
that's
think
my
so. So he opened this account, took one photo,
posted it.
and then bought himself the subscription,
Lifetime
the
subscription.
lifetime subscription, and is yet to make his money back.
Hey,
on
I'm
the
a content producer. Give me a break.
Is yet to make his money back on the subscription, and you don't even know your login.
I know. I need to make at least $41 in order to. I know. And then I lost the
And
login.
then you lost the login. So we're not really doing this very well today, are we?
No, man.
No.
Hold on.
Let's actually not go to your site.
I did. Feet Finder is a real thing. FYI, I'm not joking. If you're into feet, that's the spot. I didn't even think it was real, to be honest.
Okay, my. How long ago have you had this?
Whoa, shit! Hold on, let me not open
How long have you had this?
my Feet Finder account.
Yeah, for
Like-
over a year.
Like
right?
a year. If anybody wants to
No,
see
but
my toes,
is it meant to make money?
it
Or
is
It's meant to just post. Like, is it like an Instagram for feet?
No, yeah, but you take pictures of your feet, and people go, "Oh, those are nice feet," and they're like, "Well, if you want to see them covered in jelly, then pay me $4." Or if you
Oh,
want
so
to
it's
see,
like OnlyFans, but for your feet.
yeah, it's like OnlyFans for feet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, we're gonna open a Drew and Jess in the morning.
No,
feet
we're not.
Finder account.
no, we are not.
I'd take a picture of your feet every morning under the desk.
Under
every
the
every
desk.
Monday morning.
Under the blankets while I'm sleeping.
No,
Look
man.
at Jess's sleepy feet.
Is it? Oh my God! There's. I was gonna ask a question. And I answered my own question. There's this hilarious Instagram where it said, "Imagine being caught doing this." Have you seen it?
No.
And it's it's so good. It's like a dude on a couch sitting next to like one of his bros, and then the bro's girlfriend has his feet stretched out in front of the dude, and he goes to take a picture, and his flash goes off.
Oh no.
And they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Nothing."
I haven't seen it.
Oh man, that's pretty bad. But maybe
Okay, so
So we need to open a Patreon though. So if you
okay.
guys want to give us $4 or $1
for Feet
or
Finder?
75 cents, no, because we're going to be moving offices soon, and I need to rebuild the studio somewhere. So if anybody wants to contribute $4 or $7, then we'll
no,
open.
we're
We'll
gonna
open a
lose.
Feet
We're
Finder
gonna
account.
lose our 4 viewers now.
That's not true. We had 28 last week.
28.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Oh man, I'm trying to find that thing.
What
on
was
the screen.
going on last Monday? Clearly, there was nothing else to watch.
I know. There's people listening
Actually,
right
where are our trusty people?
We have a bunch. We've got 4 on one channel.
No,
We've got
but
6
normally
on
I'm
another.
getting a lot more from.
Are you? I know.
from
Look,
one
Priscilla's on, which is
particular-
great. Miss
I
Tanya's
know.
on. Miss Tanya, would taking it back to preschool.
Aw,
Hey,
Miss
Miss Tanya.
Tanya.
Oh, that's great.
All
man.
right, so I've got nothing else to contribute this morning. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I know you're totally limp this morning, honey.
I am. I'm a little wimp. Whoa, never mind.
I don't know what you're about to say,
I
but
don't
you're
know.
blushing.
I was gonna call myself a. Never mind. I don't know.
I'm having issues reading your mind this morning.
Yeah, don't read.
I'm
my
not
mind.
picking up what you're putting down. Anyway,
Mila says I'll help rebuild the studio.
yeah, I have no job.
Hey, so are you gonna take these things off?
Nah. Well, yeah, I mean they're like $12 worth of paneling,
Okay, well that'll be fun.
but the problem is we need a studio. So I talked to you of all people. I asked to see if the McAllen Creative Incubator is offering office space again, since they've gone through the up and down and the back and forth and the turmoil.
They
over
have
there.
such a good
Oh
location.
my God! Speaking
too.
of stuff in the Rio Grande Valley, there's these articles that are being run in the Rio Grande Guardian talking about Brownsville. How in Brownsville now they say that they're going to partner to fix their broadband issues. They're going to partner with some company that's going to give out a bunch of tablets to people
Oh my.
instead of building the infrastructure, instead of building out 5G or private 5G or laying fiber. They're like, oh, we're just going to get these tablets to people. And it's got a 2-year subscription or something, which if you don't know what's going on, do you remember during COVID, there were places that said, hey, we're just going to give every student a hotspot.
Yeah.
Well, they gave them all hotspots because Verizon made them a deal and said, if you sign this contract, we'll make it a lower price for 2 or 3 years. And they did that. Guess what's happening now?
The
All
rates
the
went up.
contracts are expiring. And so Verizon's like, okay, that's going to cost you $90,000 a month or
Right.
$20,000 a month or whatever. And now the district's like, well, we don't have that money anymore. We allocated or whatever else, and
And we
like,
haven't done anything to solve the problem.
they didn't
So
do
the
it.
Band-Aid didn't work, and
The
now you're
Band-Aid didn't work.
in a bigger pickle.
Yeah, man.
Maybe they start exploring other options.
Yeah, well, that's for the next podcast. You really have nothing to contribute this morning, do you?
Just give me another topic.
What do you want? You pick a topic. Go. We've got 15 minutes, babe.
I don't have a topic. Let's see. Anybody else have a topic?
What
I don't have
kind?
a
What?
topic. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm failing today.
What would Hoda do if this was Good Morning America or whatever show she's on? Regis and Kathy. Oh shit!
What are you talking?
What if this was Phil Donahue?
I was gonna say, what if this was Geraldo?
Sally Jesse Raphael.
Oh, she was awesome.
Her and her red glasses.
I know. I liked it.
Never happened.
I'm trying to think of what won this week. I don't know. I'm excited about this week that's happening. Breaking into a whole new industry, right? I have to talk about that.
I know we're going. So we're going to the
We are going
cannabis
to
conference.
the cannabis conference, which will be interesting for those of you who don't know, but cannabis operators need to be insured.
I know.
And so this is it's a new industry.
You think everyone's just going to be high walking around on the show floor?
No, I think it's going to actually be a lot of work. Like people are working.
But I mean, part of working in the industry, it's like when you go to the beer stuff, and you go to the.
They're not drunk. The
yeah.
distributors are not drunk. They're giving you
What?
out samples.
Yes.
They have moments where they're enjoying their libations, but for the most part, they're just giving out samples.
No, I've been to these shows.
It's like
You're drunk, dude. The one that like I talked about, I think I talked about it on here also. I remember going to the one from Buffalo Wild Wings. And it was like, here's all the people at Buffalo Wild Wings. You walked in, they were
Everybody
giving you
was
shots
tanked?
of Fireball as soon as you walked
but they're
in.
giving people that are going to the conference the shots. The people that are actually working are not taking the shots. At least I don't think so. I don't really know. I don't think everyone's going to be walking around high.
I think everybody's gonna be high.
I mean, we'll find out.
Survey says.
Report next Monday. Give you guys the DL. Undercover. Oh my goodness. How about this weather?
You're not firing on all cylinders this morning,
I'm
honey.
not. I don't know what's going on. I'm a little tired. Maybe. I don't know.
It's 'cause you stayed up too late watching The Bachelor.
The Golden Bachelor.
The Golden Bachelor.
He really had my attention.
He looks like
had
a
it.
stork.
No, what else did I want to talk about? I did want to talk about
Oh, look, hold on.
Nola said something. Nola wanted to talk about healthcare.
Oh, well,
You asked her what we should talk about, and she said you should talk about healthcare.
I did. Did you?
I don't really know what the backstory was to that.
She overheard me reading the article in the Financial Times about.
You were reading it out loud to her?
I was reading it out loud to you. God.
You should know better.
Behold the Ozempic effect on business.
Oh, yes. This was fascinating. I do remember now. So all the diseases that are caused by morbid obesity have now come down. So much so that new procedures are being halted.
Not since the rise of cholesterol-reducing statins or perhaps pain medications like Advil has a group of pharmaceuticals so captivated and captured the public imagination.
Yeah.
Semaglutides.
So wake up call to the world. Can you imagine that it's our food that has done this to us this long?
America.
Imagine that.
You know, it's crazy
So
is the
I
amount
have
that this impacts America versus
do-
all of the other countries.
I
in
do
the
have
world.
a really big pickle about this one, right?
I have a really
So
big
I
pickle.
lost my dad. And I'll share this.
Man, how do you like?
Well, because it makes sense. Let me get there.
Go.
Give me a second, right?
I
So
said I
this-
had a really big pickle, and then you're talking about your dad dying.
Because
like,
I wasn't listening to you in your pickle comment. I had a train of
go.
thought.
Go.
And if you don't let me complete it, I'm going to lose it.
Go.
So what I was trying to say was that one of the biggest reality checks for me, and I'm about to be vulnerable, so brace yourself, Drew, is that my dad had heart disease and diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very, for all sakes and purposes, outward appearance, you would imagine that he was very healthy. He was trim. He was active.
Mm-hmm.
But he had diabetes and he had heart disease. And it all stemmed from his diet. Now, granted, there are a lot of things that are hereditary, and there's, perhaps maybe the cholesterol really never gets completely under control. You need to eventually put medication in there to help things work. But I will say that it was 100% what he was eating and consuming, and not, you grow up thinking that you can have all of these things and not realize the hardness that it puts into your body, right? Like it becomes really hard to combat these things. And when you get diagnosed with something like diabetes, if you don't take it seriously, it can take your life. And so he had his first triple bypass at 46 years old. Triple bypass at 46. For perspective, I'm 41.
I'm 46.
Right. And so that was really tough to watch. And then he went through a moment where he was really healthy and decided to, get a little more active, pay a little more attention to what he was eating, and then fell right back into all of our vices. And I can't say that it's a Rio Grande Valley, because clearly it's all of America that have these addictions to food and really never knowing how to stop hurting yourself, right? And so that continued, and then we lost him at 56 from a massive heart attack.
Yeah.
And so my point here is that although this Ozempic might have crazy, side effects, it might be hurting people indirectly in other ways, I will say that it's made, from what I'm reading, right, it's brought down tons of other illnesses. It's brought down the need for other medications.
15 to 20% weight loss in obese patients. It also appears to protect the heart, liver, and kidney organs, which are put under strain by excess weight. They're saying, even Weight Watchers has acquired a telemedicine company that can start prescribing semaglutides via Zoom. Pre-diabetic patients are going on them to avoid more serious illnesses. Psychiatrists are doling out prescriptions to patients whose antidepressants have caused them to put on weight. Any number of companies ranging in industries from fast food to insurance to health and fitness are seeing their core business models completely disrupted by these drugs. They're fundamentally changing how much people want to eat. There was an article that ran last week saying, what is the Ozempic effect going to be on Thanksgiving?
Right.
How many more leftovers were had this year around people's tables from people that were using Ozempic? And the thing about it is they talk about the impact on Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly and Pfizer and Moderna, like all these groups are out there, how the money's rolling in. Healthcare analysts are saying that the $250 billion cardiovascular disease market can be reduced by 10% by 2050. Hundreds of billions of dollars worth of additional business and treatments for diabetes, kidney and liver disease, and other weight-related illnesses are going to be disruptive. Analysts have even downgraded donut maker Krispy Kreme recently, worried that Americans on semaglutides just won't reach as far many sweets as they have in the past. Mondelez and PepsiCo have also seen it hit their shelves, which is interesting. Obesity adds $1,861 in annual healthcare costs per American. So as long as Ozempic's costing you less than $1,861 a year, it's a plus, and it's not on Medicare yet. But imagine if this goes on Medicare. But that's going to create these huge costs involved as well. So it's fascinating to think about it, about how this drug is helping so many people and stopping so many other things that are out there. But it makes me wonder, is there a company that's going to buy it and kill it? Because if that's the whole, conspiracy theory with curing cancer. Well, if we just cure cancer, yeah, but the cancer industry makes a whole lot of money.
Right.
It's like the war on drugs. Stop the war on drugs. War on drugs makes a whole lot of money.
I always want to believe that there's good in the world and that they
okay. So Priscilla brings up a really good point. Curbing alcohol cravings. So it's interesting. I've heard that so many times. I don't know if it's a mental thing or if it affects the mental stuff or it affects how it works, because Ozempic, from what I'm told, it slows down how you digest food, and so it keeps you fuller longer, because if your body's digesting food,
sure,
you don't want to eat more.
Right.
And so the alcohol thing is like, well, if you're already full,
you don't want
we were talking about this weekend. Yeah, like you don't want to drink a beer because beer is going to fill you up. So it's like, can I drink a beer or am I going to have dinner? It's like, well, let me go eat dinner instead of having a beer. But seeing this,
it would be absolutely incredible if it was covered by insurance, because aren't people just everywhere taking the shots all over the place?
No, it is covered by insurance in
diabetic patients.
Yeah.
Like if you've been diagnosed with the need for it.
But that's what they're saying. Even psychiatrists they're writing scripts for it. People, if they write a script for it, then it's usually insured, right?
I'm curious to know if it also helps with depression.
Well, yeah, think about it. I mean, if you're sitting there and you feel bad because you think you're overweight, or because you are overweight, or because all of these probably have a net benefit to it. Not only, I mean, kidney failure, blindness, heart disease, and liver complaints are going down.
Well, and
because
if you lose a little weight, going out for a walk or a run becomes something that's a little bit more attainable.
Yeah,
You can do that.
yeah,
And that creates endorphins, and that makes you happy.
yeah.
You see?
Man, it's so interesting. So this was an article that was wrong, but this is obviously not the only article that's talking about this, but just overall,
So Nola overheard you talking about this, and
She
she
did,
wanted
yeah.
us to have a conversation about it.
prescriptions for these drugs are up a whopping 300% in the U.S. since 2020, despite the fact that they can cost anywhere between $300 and $1,300 per month. It says
1,300.
$13 per month. Bank of America expects 48 million Americans to be on semaglutides by 2030. Man. And then there's the compounding stuff. Like there's stuff in McAllen. There's a place you can go to that it's not Ozempic and it's not Manjaro. There's another one. They mentioned another one here also. I can't remember. There's a new one that's out. It's called.
But to be very clear, these are diabetic medications. They're not.
Wegovy.
They're not diet medications.
No, they're not. Yeah, they're not. They're specifically, originally specifically geared for diabetes. But the benefits across the board are really interesting. Yeah.
Super interesting topic.
Yeah, so I don't know, Priscilla, if she says if you're not diabetic, it's not covered by insurance. But if a doctor says you need it, I don't know how that works.
I don't know how it works either, but I think you'd have to be diagnosed with some kind of diabetes in order to get it prescribed to you to begin with. Now, as far as the psychiatrist prescribing it for different reasons, perhaps, I'm not sure.
Anyway, it really is an interesting topic, especially in the Rio Grande Valley. Diabetes numbers in the Rio Grande Valley are through the roof. I think
talking on healthcare, let's talk about what the pediatrician told me and my daughter. I'm going to talk about it. I have a daughter.
Hold on. According to South Texas Health Systems, 1 in 3 people in the RGV has diabetes, and about half of them aren't even aware that they have it. 1 in 3. So that means you probably qualify for Ozempic. So go see. This episode brought to you by Ozempic and Norva. How do I know? Say the name. Norva Notice. Yeah.
I don't know.
This is funny.
This is a funny
and we
transition.
can wrap with this one because this is hilarious.
We'll wrap with this one. So
what were you doing? We went to go have. You took the kiddos.
I took the kids to the pediatrician. Fleet had his yearly checkup, and
Doing
Nola
good.
had an ingrown toenail, and so we needed to go talk. And then she needed a script refill, and so we went to go talk about it. And as we're sitting there, we go through the stuff with the little one, right? And he's fine. They measure him and whatever. He didn't have shots or anything like that because he's 7 and he won't get another boosters until he's 11 or something.
Gotta get your dip tat.
So our pediatrician is really sweet, and he'll always sit there and talk to us for a second, and he'll ask how things are going. And so we're honest. This family is brutally honest. We're brutally honest with each other.
It's
and
not
we're
always the
honest.
nicest, but we're brutally honest.
We don't always want to hear it, but we deal. And so Nola starts talking. And he's like, so how are things going, Nolan? And she's like, fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. And I was like, well, no. Everything's not fine, Nola. Tell him about this and that. And maybe it was a little bit of a dig for me too, right? Like, well, we're having this incident and we're dealing with this and we're dealing with time management. And I'm trying to get him to give her some pointers, right?
You want him on your side.
I want him on my side to give her some pointers on time management and how to efficiently, go out throughout your day and how we should do our homework right when we get home from school, right? And so I'm like, come on, Dr. Argent, support me. And so she says, excuse me, I have to go to the restroom. So she gets up. She excuses herself and she goes to the restroom. Clearly she was really annoyed with me having this conversation with the doctor. And the doctor looks at me and he says, I think that you two could really benefit from dynamic therapy, from mother-daughter dynamic therapy. And I said, excuse me? And he says, clearly there is a little bit of tension between you and her, right? And maybe we learn to speak to one another so that we can see progress. And I thought, wow, now he's being brutally honest with me. Get him to pipe down, right? Anyway, the whole thing was eye-opening because I don't realize sometimes being a mom, you kind of go through the motions and we think we know the differences between right and wrong. And I had to stop for a second and realize that perhaps my way is a little pushy. It's a little too much. Sometimes I tend to be a little intense and what did he call me? He called me he goes, clearly you're a little bit of a powerhouse, and that could be a lot to deal with. And maybe she's misinterpreting what you're asking her to do. And I said, oh, okay. So we have an appointment coming up.
That's great.
We're going to learn to speak to one another.
Things husbands can't tell wives, but doctors can.
Oh, I was so glad you weren't there, by the way. So glad. Anyway, but it was helpful advice, and I am excited to learn how to talk to her better because she's so cool.
She is cool.
She's really cool, and I shouldn't be always so hard. That was the lesson that I learned. I said, okay, I'll learn to talk to her specifically. You on the other hand.
As long as she learns to listen.
As long as she can learn to listen to me, I can talk. No. Anyway, it was good, but it was eye-opening, and I was thankful to hear it.
Well, good. I'm glad.
That is all.
You think if I was there, they would tell me that I need therapy also with my kids?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. You're too cool.
You're too cool. You're a cool talk cucumber or whatever.
Cool talk cucumber.
Cool tall glass of water. Something. Cucumber.
Cool as a cucumber.
There you go. Cool as a cucumber.
Drew in the morning. Jess in the morning.
Y'all have a wonderful week. We're going to Vegas.
Have a good week.
Later, losers.